Hey everyone, and welcome to another Pony 411. This is episode 86 for the week of January 11th. I'm Nemesis, and joining me yet again is Alca7raz over there.
Yo.
And yeah, we got a new discussion topic. It's a little revisit of something we'd done way back when, before even he was on here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, though, we have some news beforehand, and after, we have some fan content. A good chunk, actually.
Yeah.
To get started, if you want to follow along, go to pony411.libsyn.com/show notes. All the links for the news and fanfics and fan music and all that stuff are there. Let's go. In convention news, a Malaysian pony convention called the Friendship Express is coming. It will be on March 21st to 22nd, take place in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. I'm really hoping I got all that right.
Probably not, but whatever.
I think we have a Malaysian listener or two. I checked the map. It looks like we might have one, so... Well, or if you happen to be in Malaysia for some reason, well, there you go.
There you go.
And also, in possibly not in the realm of interest for anyone listening, Thailand Pony Convention is coming to, well, Thailand.
No.
It's going to be in March as well, on the 14th specifically, in Bangkok. So, they're, some Asian pony conventions.
Yep. Places we haven't seen before.
Yeah. BabsCon has announced that GM Barrow will be attending their con, so San Francisco in April, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're in San Francisco for that, GM Barrow there. Brony Can has announced their date and location for this year. They will take place August 21st to 23rd at the Executive Airport Plaza Hotel in Richmond, British Columbia. Plus, pre-registration will be opening up on January 15th. And finally, in convention news, BronyCon has opened up Bronypalooza applications and mascot actor applications. Basically, they want 3 people to go around in their OCs.
Yep.
In, I guess, costume. I'm not sure what kind of costume it is. I'm not sure it's going to be a full pony suit or just a humanized costume. I don't know.
No clue.
But anyway, if you are interested in doing that,
there you go.
Check it out. Or if you're a musician in the first one, check that out. In fandom news, Princess Celestia went to the International Space Station. Well, printed on a circuit board, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, one of the pieces of the space station...
Part of the Dragon module.
Yeah,
that got put up on the space
little
station.
tiny thing on the circuit board of Celestia.
Silver screened onto the bottom one of the boards.
There you go. Another pony goes into space.
Yay.
A new fan game has popped up, this one called Battle Gem Ponies. It's apparently inspired by Pokemon, so if you like those games, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you do... consider checking it out.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone likes the Pokemon games. Psh, who would like those?
Everyone, apparently.
Pretty much.
An old Daring Do fan game has been resurrected recently, and they have a Patreon open. I'm not sure if this is going to last when they're asking for money, but still, keep your eyes on it. Because it's one of those things where Hasbro might go, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Who knows, though?
Who knows? We'll see.
Just retool it. Call it a different name. I don't know. In merchandise news, a Franco Plus Rainbow Dash has appeared at Target. It's this like a pillow plush thing. It's marked as pillow, but it's called a plush, and it's got weird that weird
it's
fuzzy
got the
hair.
Faux hair kind of
faux hawk fuzzy hair thing.
Yeah.
It's like 17 inches tall though, so
yeah, it's part of their Pillow Buddy series. It's kind of weird, but hey, whatever.
Want to sleep on Rainbow Dash? There you go. I won't judge.
Out loud.
Pictures of a new Aurora plushies have appeared, and it looks like these will have brushable hair, which is a new thing, because, the Auroras just kind of have,
they have molded hair.
Yeah, and
sort of.
That's
not really molded, but, yeah.
Yeah, these will have brushable hair, which is an interesting new way. I'm not sure if this is going to be all the Aurora plushies, or just a new subset line, or what, but they're showing up just as eventually.
Hard to brush as the brushable line.
Brushy.
They tend to tangle a lot unless you know what you're doing.
Yeah, by the way, little piece section at a time. Just slowly work down. That's why I was told.
And apparently
not the whole thing. Don't go from the scalp to all the way to the end of the hair with one brush. Just a little bit at a time. Otherwise, it will just kind of frizz up and tangle.
I've also heard there's certain product that you can use to help with the process.
Warm water.
Amongst things, yes, primarily.
Anyway. The new GM Barrow book, yes, her again, Fluttershy and the Fine Furry Friends, has been released, and actually released last Tuesday, and just kind of, again, forgot. So yeah, that's another one of her little character-focused books.
Yep, been doing a few of those.
Yep. In something not really G4 related, My Little Pony Tales is coming out on DVD on April 28th. This is the second Pony series that was released. It was only one season long, 20-something episodes. It came out in the early 90s, aired on the Disney Channel. I believe I saw an episode once when I was sick and there was nothing on TV. I'm just sitting there just zoned out. It's one of those, there's nothing on, so just leave it on the channel because whatever's coming on next or something. I think it was like Darkwing was after or something. I don't know.
That makes up for it.
I was just sitting there watching it. It's the weird one where it's like a contemporary setting and they tend to stand up on their hind hooves and grab with their fore hooves, and
Yeah.
it's a weird one.
It's weird.
Maybe we'll look at it at one point in the future.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah. In comic news, Hot Topic was apparently running behind or something, but you can now pick up their exclusive variant of issue 26 if you really want to. Because if you heard last week, we weren't exactly thrilled with it. But yeah, this one's inspired by those, I'm trying to remember the name, those old puppet Christmas shorts like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeers and stuff. It's very obviously inspired by Rudolph in particular.
Yeah.
Because you got like Dragon as that little weird spotted elephant. Except it's a dragon in purple and green.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a collector or something, there you go. But I still wouldn't recommend picking up the comic for the story.
Yeah, that wasn't the greatest story.
Anyway, Friendship is Magic comic has won the 2014 Gem Award for Best All Ages Comics. So,
hooray!
Yeah, someone outside the fandom is like, yeah, this is a great comic. All ages comics anyway. So, despite how some people would say that it's not great, but whatever. I think overall the year was pretty solid. Till the end, when it started to falter. Whatever. Issue 29's retailer incentive cover has been revealed, and it's nothing really particular special. It's just the ponies ice skating. But apparently it says it's new artist, so I guess that's the special part. And oddly enough, the first images showed up from Japan, of all things. Brenda Hickey has revealed yet another sneak peek at Friends Forever number 15. She's been throwing out a lot of those.
Yes, she has.
So it's like almost like, what, are we going to see the whole comic before you even have to buy it?
That is the joke, yes.
And we might be getting a third MLP comic series. Whatever it actually is, Bobby Curnow said that we'll see it in April. They just said some test thing, possibly a third series. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, what they're doing, but who knows? We'll see something.
Who knows? Only the future will tell.
And in the final bit of news, it appears that storyboarding for Season 5 is now finished, according to Sibsy on Twitter, anyway, so...
And she would know.
She would know, at least her part of the storyboarding is finished.
Yeah.
So, and remember, they are this happens with cartoons where they are literally working on the final episodes while the new first few are actually starting to air, gearing up to air, so it's probably it's likely she was finishing up the last episodes. So it's like, no, Season 5 is not delayed till 2015, end of 2015 or 2016 or whatever. It's still coming in the spring.
Yeah.
No panic, more than we usually do.
No. We are known for our panicking.
Just like every fandom.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's the news. Kind of ran right through it. This wasn't a big deal. Anyway,
Not too bad.
If you remember way back when, I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was a long time ago. You remember I reviewed the Gameloft MLP game, and I wasn't exactly happy with it, shall I say? In fact, I pretty much said don't even bother playing it. Well, since then, it's been through numerous updates, adding content, fixing bugs, all that's rebalancing, all that stuff. And, as a most recent update came out last month, which was the Everfree update, which added a whole new thing, a whole new area and stuff to the game. And I guess I thought it was a good time to just kind of go ahead and revisit the game and just kind of see, okay, is it still as bad as I remember it, or has it improved enough to actually go ahead and play it a little? So, I guess first thing is, the Everfree update. Most of you probably already well aware of the Sweet Apple Acres and Canterlot updates and the Minecart update and all those things. But it's the Everfree update is very different from the other updates in that rather than just adding, oh look, there's a new town with new buildings and new ponies. It's kind of more of a quest line.
Yeah.
You still uncover new areas, but they're relatively cheap, and you have to actually follow a set path. You can't just spread out from one area like you can in other places. You have to follow a set path, and you can't deviate except to, Yeah, except to actually from the path itself, you have to deviate a certain pattern anyway.
Yeah.
And there's also there's sometimes the game will throw things that will block you from expanding more until you defeat them, like the snapping vines or crocodiles or whatever. And you have to get to the Tree of Harmony and save it and get the box. And there was a community event we unfortunately missed.
Unfortunately, yeah.
But it was just basically you throw element shards at it and you get the rewards, and the tree is saved, and you get the box, and it just says, "Hey, stay tuned for more updates."
Yep.
What's in the box? We know exactly what's in the box.
Exactly what's in the box.
So yeah, it's a different take. I guess it's a different gameplay style than what we're used to with this, and I mean, it's still within the scope of the game, the limited scope of the game and stuff, but it's different. I'm just kind of curious. I mean, you really didn't play the game since it came out, except for occasionally here and there. So I'm just wondering what you think, especially since you weren't here the first time I talked
I wasn't
about
here. I started playing it right when it first came out. I was one of the people just watching just to see what it was like. I think you started playing it shortly about when it came out too. But I really didn't stick with it for very long because, well, it's a freemium game.
Yeah.
It's pay to win. There's some games that do that fairly well. They're kind of subtle about it. And then there's other games that are really blatant about, yes, give us money. We're not going to let you do anything until you give us more money. And this is pretty darn blatant. It was worse. It was really, really bad when it first came out.
Super bad.
You couldn't really do anything.
As I complained about.
Yeah, you couldn't do anything in any sort of reasonable amount of time without paying real money for gems.
Or cheating.
Whatever. Or cheating. Now, they fixed most of the cheating thing. Most. But, yeah, that's why I stopped playing it, so I was a little bit behind. Recently, though, I jumped back in after a bunch of updates. The Everfree update, I think was definitely needed. They needed something different, some sort of change of pace. And that definitely did it. It's definitely better than the Canterlot update, which I still can't touch, because, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. The updates, other than the Everfree update, the rest of the updates sort of expect you to have already played a whole bunch. So it's really...
Sweet Apple Acres isn't so bad.
It's not so bad,
it's
but
a little more...
Canterlot?
The Canterlot was obviously...
Wow.
The Canterlot update was very much obviously designed
End
for
of
people
game.
who are already like level 50, had already played a whole bunch, and all that stuff, already had a good chunk of bits and gems saved up, so...
When the cheapest shop costs 40,000 bits, they expect you to have a fully working Ponyville sitting there generating money for you.
Yeah.
So
if you're starting off with a new account like we had, or relatively unplayed account.
I was basically new, even though I
unplayed,
didn't get mine.
Long time unplayed, or just new account.
Yeah, so it's like, don't even bother going to Canterlot yet. Don't even bother until you finish.
You just go there just to get all the messages
Yeah.
And then just sit there and wait.
Yeah, but other than that, I think they did retune some things to make it less blatantly play to win. So I mean, it's a little bit more playable now, but it's still, you can still definitely tell.
Yeah, especially since they added ads into the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other one. When I first played, there was some ads, but it wasn't as always in your face. It's
like every single time now I start up the game. Now. Oh, buy some gems for only $2.
Just like constantly when you do activities now. Do this. Oh, get this limited time offer. Oh, you should look at these. Or if you assign someone to a shop, oh, look at all these things you can buy. It's like,
Yep.
Wow. Really? This is like
most of it's all advertising within the game itself, or for stuff within the game itself, and most of it's like that, except for they did add a new thing, because if you remember, the mini games had the 3 tiers. You had the 100-bit, 1000-bit, and 5 gems?
I think something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, the 3 different tiers, and each one would give you a higher multiplier. Well, they just added something, so for the middle one, the 1000-bit one, they added a little thing. You could watch a video once a day, and that would give you basically a free
second tier upgrade.
2x multiplier.
Yeah, which is nice.
One time a day.
Yeah, which I guess is nice if you can deal with the ad.
It's 15 seconds, and it's loud.
It is. Oh, wow.
I don't know why, but it's just
like, wow, are you stuck
loud.
In the 90s? 90s TV ads? Where the shows were always quiet and the ads you could hear across the house? I remember they actually built hardware devices specifically to counter that.
Yeah, and then the FCC made it.
And the FCC
outright banned it.
You can't do this anymore.
Stop that. You stop that.
Why can't we have an FCC like that nowadays?
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, I think they made some much needed changes. It's not as bad as it was, but
Yeah. If you remember,
it's
when
definitely
I
a time
reviewed the
sink.
game, Dash was 400 something gems.
Holy crap! Thank gosh
Someone
it's
actually
not
did the
that
math of how, I remember, based on the rate of how the game gave you gems at the time, because the game was very stingy about giving you gems. It was trying to force you to buy them. Someone said if you don't pay, it'll take you like 5 years to get Rainbow Dash. And that's if you don't ever spend it. And they've changed it, so she's like, what, 60-bit gems
65.
now? Yeah, 65? Yeah, 65 gems, which is much more reasonable.
Much more
and
manageable.
not only that,
I'd have
they
it now,
have
but-
increased the gem drops in particular. They have increased the amount of gems. So they have done rebalancing and stuff. And, like, I think it used to be like only once every 5 levels you got a gem.
Yeah,
now it's like every level you get
gem.
at least 1 gem.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes you get a bonus when you hit certain milestones.
Yep, you get 20 gems for hitting level 30.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And there's also just stuff now you just can earn gems randomly through, like, because they also added the Equestria Girls dancing mini game. You possibly earn gems as a prize there, turn gems as a prize in the minecart game. Sometimes you click on something, you'll get a gem from like a pair of sprites or changelings or vampire fruit bats. Derpy even.
If you find her.
Yeah. So there's all that stuff. I mean, they did rebalance it a bit, but it is still at the core. The problem is you cannot rebalance something that's already inherently broken, which is the game at its core. It's a Farmville clone, and Farmville is kind of an inherently bad game.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's inherently... The thing, I think part of the ultimate problem is a lot of us are gamers in general in the fandom, and the thing is we kind of expect to be able to sit down for like 3 hours and just play straight through, no problems. This game's designed so you spend like maybe 10 or 15 minutes at a time. It's go back and then come back like 3 or 4 hours later and spend another 10, 15 minutes.
You can, if you've got things spec'd right, you can just sit and play this thing constantly, but it is so mind-numbing.
Yeah, it is
when
there's not a lot
like
to do. I mean, I remember one thing I complained about, there's only 2 mini games, and then there's the Wings game.
Yeah, they do now
They
have,
now have
a
a
bunch
third,
more mini games.
which is really just kind of a draw pattern.
Yeah, but with these shops, if you set up your shops right, you can be sitting there constantly, just going between the shops, and the time it takes you to go through the shops and hit some of the mini events, so the shops are ready again.
I mean, the minecart game is actually not too bad to play. It's just, unless of course you say you have an older device which can't handle it.
The Diamond Dogs show up and I'm done because
it's just the only problem. The biggest problem with the minecart game is just it's not optimized very well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even on high-end devices, like I have a brand new phone, it can barely... the frame rate drops on that, too. So... otherwise, though, if the minecart game in itself is actually kind of fun, and just it's got endless runner type thing.
I think the minecart game, it is really fun, and I think it could be...
And also because of the way it's set up, it can also get you quite a bit of rewards. The Equestria Girls minigame is fun, too, but kind of because of the limited song selection, is only lasts so long.
Yeah.
I would suspect they would have plans for the Rainbow Rock songs to be added in at some point in the future.
I would hope they shorten some of the cooldown timers, too.
Yeah, some of the timers are like 24 hours.
Yeah. So it's
the shortest timer is 3 hours, and the longest timers are 24 hours, so you can only play it every once in a while. Or you can skip it for gems, like usual, which it's also very easy to accidentally click a button and spend gems.
I lost 30 gems clearing an area because the frame rates hiccuped as I was poking trees.
Frame rate, particularly, I've noticed that in the minecart game, it's particularly bad. Just frame rate will hiccup, and all of a sudden you're dead.
Have a diamond dog hit you out of nowhere because
that's the biggest problem. It's just technical issues all over the place too. It's just one of those. It's like, wow, you keep encountering weird new technical stuff. It's like I didn't really see this the first time around. Is the whole game was just poorly optimized the first time around, but now it's like, wow, you can really see all these little flaws in how the game is just barely held together at times.
Mm-hmm. I think it's flash based. I could be slightly wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's somewhat of flash base in here, which I'm willing to blame Flash if you are.
Sure, why not? But still, the Gameloft is still
they could have optimized this a lot better.
It's not made in Flash. Or it's not made in Farmville clone.
Yeah. It's a Skinner box.
Yeah.
It's a Skinner box. It's a blatant, I think even Farmville does a better job of a Skinner box than this does.
It's a game, if you play it like, I guess, maybe 10 minutes at a time, you probably won't notice as much.
With the rebalancing...
But the problem is, of course, initially you have to play a lot.
Yeah, I would say with the new rebalancing, it's...
Although I swear some ponies are more expensive than they used to be. I swear up and down. I'm not sure. I wish I could go back and check now. But
I don't have the numbers to check that.
But I'm pretty sure some of them, they like, oh, so these ponies which were worth bits now suddenly cost gems. It's like, what?
There's a couple other changes that I noticed they made. I remember like the ball bounce game.
Yeah.
The first
iteration was very bare bones.
there was some things that you needed to do that it didn't tell you.
Yeah.
There was no markers like on when to hit it. It didn't actually tell you when to hit it.
Yep. You just you're expected to figure it out.
You're expected to figure it out. Now it's got the little circle thing marking and the colors to tell you when.
Yeah.
Because it also got the 3 different angles that it shows you what it's expecting. So there are improvements.
Yeah.
I will say that if you're absolutely looking for a time waster, it's not the worst time waster you could find, but there are better.
I still find it. It's one of those. It just kind of shows that we desperately need a real MLP
we need
game.
a real one.
Like, it's not just freemium mobile junk.
Yeah.
And I think the game is still very much trying to get you to spend money, and I understand because they give it away for free. They got to get money somehow, but
there are better ways than this.
Way better ways. I mean, and also some of the random chance stuff is not fun, particularly with the balloon pop game. Just having to get ponies. I've heard someone who's like, he got all the ponies except for Trixie. He cannot seem to get Trixie no matter what. He said he's played it like 100 times, no Trixie.
I don't ever spend gems in the balloon pop game, but I've never got anything good out of it.
Yeah, well, you have to do that, at least the gems, at least. And of course, the social currency. Another thing we found out.
Yeah, the other one.
There's a little thing on the Equestria Girls dance game, which like sounds nice, because look, you get a heart gem if you share this on your whatever account, Gameloft, Facebook, or Google Plus.
Yep.
It's broken though.
It appears to be broken.
It does not actually work or something, because I click it, nothing.
It makes a chime, button changes.
And you think, oh, that's it. Nope. It just doesn't work, so you don't get your heart. And I mean, at least the other thing, so it makes it very difficult to get any ponies that cost hearts.
Yeah, I have never got a single. I think instead of some of the intro bonuses give you a couple, but then you never get anything out of normal activities.
Yeah.
So outside of those, I've never got a heart gem because I can't do any of the social stuff.
There are any pony that costs hearts, they will give you eventually. You can earn it through the Equestria Girls minigame, but it's kind of
that takes a long.
It's
time
random. It's
effort.
like each week is a new pony can be earned, and then so if you already have that pony for that week, it's just going to give you some random junk instead. So you have to work your way through this price. So you have to play the Equestria Girl minigame a lot, and then you have to get enough points, and so you have eventually though you start getting just because you have that pony, it's 5-star. You'll have all the main 6 or most of the main 6 will have 5 stars. So no matter what, you're going to get a good multiplier bonus.
Yeah, but again, you have to play the game a lot to get to that point.
Yeah. It is designed so that you play like 10-15 minutes every day at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Canterlot stuff adds a whole bunch of quest lines. I've seen it. It has the whole Chrysalis quest line and everything. It's interesting, but again, it is designed for high-level players, so if you have a brand new account, you're kind of SOL. But if you have an old account, which has a lot of stuff on it, you're pretty much golden there.
If you have been playing for a
while.
Which
I was, and I had it on my old tablet, and what happened? I updated, it wiped out my save.
Yeah, I was lucky and didn't wipe mine out.
So there's that. And I think it's set. I recall they set it up so that certain version numbers saves are automatically wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Especially that very first version because it got modded.
So you have to basically.
Hard.
The only way I can think of is you have to kind of incremental update until a certain point, then you can do a big swooping update. I don't know. It might also just be if the version number is so much below this, wipe the save.
Yeah. I don't know. Or they run some checks. I don't know. I don't know how it worked. I don't know how they wipe things.
I don't know either. I just know that the save game does consistently wipe out for people with older versions.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, it's still not great, I don't think, unfortunately. I wish it was different, but it's just the problem is they're applying band-aids to an inherently broken thing.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do before it's just like, we've reached the limit.
Yep.
And I think they're getting to that point.
Yeah, now without like a major revamp, but I don't see
the best bet right now is just trying to concentrate on optimizing the stupid thing.
Yeah, and good luck. There's still some bugs in here that have never been fixed. They're focused more on, I don't know, more advertising or
and
features.
Stopping people from cheating.
Yeah. Stopping people from cheating. It's like, no.
People keep finding new ways to hack the game open, and then so they don't have to, spend money, and then they find a way to patch that up.
Oh, you should focus on why people are modding it like that in the first place. Usually means when that many people are modding it to do this, Yeah, because there's always going to be
Of
some.
course,
people
iOS
who-
is pretty much locked down because, well, it's iOS.
It's iOS.
It's much more difficult. But anyone on Android,
Yeah, I remember the first version. They honestly, they must
No
not have
encryption.
actually expected people to do it. I don't know why they didn't expect it.
no encryption.
No encryption in the internal systems. I was actually within a day able to write
Poking
my
around.
own unpacker for the data files, and I could modify the core data without actually hex editing.
Yeah.
I could change anything. Because, yeah, it was that simple. There was no protections in it at all. Wouldn't have had to do that if the game wasn't, broken in the first place.
Yeah. That's slightly less broken now.
Now, slightly less broken. On the right path, but I don't think they're ever going to get it.
Celestial still costs an absurd amount of gems.
Yeah, what is
It's not
this?
as absurd, but it's still absurd. It's 430.
430 gems.
Yeah. 430 used to be 700 something.
Yeah.
Celestia by yourself, as I complained, it costs $70 in real money. Now it just costs $40 something in real money.
I could buy a actual figure for that much money.
Less than
Yeah. Yeah, how much did the Funko ones cost? It was
$18.50.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm talking less than half the price, and I can get an actual tangible.
At least they didn't force you to
Celestia.
pay to get Twilight upgraded to Alicorn.
Oh.
It's just a quest line. It's a real short, easy quest line.
I bet there would have been some major raging on your part.
I mean, they also updated just kind of. There used to be they had the season 3 crown, then they swept us for the season 4 crown recently. Because well, it's kind of necessary because because you gave it up to the Tree of Harmony, so
It's kind of got to have
plus the
another
crown was redesigned anyway at the very beginning of season 4.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So yeah, I guess that's sort of where it sits. It sucked to begin with, and it still kind of sucks now.
Just doesn't suck as
It's
bad.
not as bad.
Which, yeah. We just please, Hasbro, if you're listening, I don't know why you are, but please let someone else get a chance at the MLP license in the game
No
world.
more Skinner boxes like this, please.
Hire WayForward.
Yes, we heard a little bit about that and nothing else.
Hire WayForward or something. Hire Platinum.
Good luck. That would be awesome, but I highly doubt that'll ever happen.
I don't know. But, yeah, it's not much else we can say, really, except just kind of rambling about how broken it is some more.
Yep.
It's still, it's overall still kind of avoid it. Don't play it a lot. Just I understand if you still just kind of want to just as a little time waster for like 10 minutes you're bored, just get on your phone or whatever and just play it. Done.
If you have an addictive personality, it will still grab you.
Yeah, be careful. If you
Just
have addictive
please.
personality, because then you'll start thinking about maybe I should just go ahead and spend the $3. No, then you
No,
spend
no,
$5
don't.
and then 10, and the next thing you know, you spend $400 in this game, and you're still going. You've just become one of their whales.
Yeah.
Don't become a whale.
Don't become a whale.
The vermin of the sea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where that's from.
I don't know. The only thing that's coming to my mind is narwhals and the unicorns of the sea.
I don't know.
But, yeah. I've only got to
Whatever.
the point where I'm min-maxing my time when I'm not using it.
Yep.
Rearrange everything to maximize how much I'll get when I come back.
Oh, I guess one thing I forgot, they did raise the level cap at least, so you're not just sitting there earning XP for nothing. It's now, rather than
haven't even hit
60,
the
which it
first-
was, now it's 90.
I haven't even hit the first level cap.
Yeah. I've hit
Yes.
the first level cap before.
Yeah, basically, I would say go ahead and play it if you really, really want to, but please don't actually spend money on it.
And also, just
It's not
don't
worth it.
expect it to be like your other games. If
No,
you're-
don't.
I mean, some of you probably played these kind of games, so you probably know what to expect. But
Yeah.
it will try to get you to spend money. Ignore it at all costs. Ignore that. So anyway, yeah, that's it for our rambling on that. We're going to ramble on other things now, particularly fan music.
So I've got 3 songs, and the first one is "These Wings Keep Me Grounded" by Art Fonseca.
Oh, it'll all be worth it. It's not as if I'll never ever know. I'll be up there with them soon. My silhouette scarring the moon. The air will keep my form surrounded. But till then, his wings keep me grounded.
This is... it was tagged jazz, but I'm not entirely certain. I guess it's sort of a jazzy kind of a song. It's interesting. It's a Scootaloo song. It's fairly mellow sort of. It's not as mellow as I've done before, but I thought it was kind of nice, though. At a few points, the vocals were a little bit off, and the distortion on the guitar probably could have been turned down a little bit. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
I don't know. It was weird. I was listening to it, and I kind of stopped paying attention when I was listening to it. Although there's one thing towards the beginning, I don't know what it was, but this one section in particular sounded like the music and the vocals were actually fighting each other.
That's another one. I think there's some mastering problems.
Yeah, it almost, I'm not sure it's mastering. It almost feels like the vocals and the music were actually going at two different tempos, and that kind of is alarming. Huh. I can't explain it. I'd have to listen to it again, which I'm not really inclined to because I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but it just almost feels like they were fighting, and I don't know. I can't explain why. It just almost feels like they didn't match. It almost felt like it was lyrics from a completely different song or something.
Interesting.
Thrown in. I don't know. It just...
All right. The second one I have is Chasing Marks by Silvernote.
It's now or never. There's no tomorrow. It is now or never. Not gonna wait. It is now or never. There's no tomorrow. It is now or never. Not gonna wait.
This one's, I want to say, electro rock. It's kind of an interesting genre.
That sounds right.
That's what it was tagged as, and I guess that fits. You don't hear it very often, except by Silvernote. It's what he tends to do. It's about the CMC, and this one's got a lot of energy to it. It's one of those upbeat, lot of energy. I like the vocals. It's a little bit different than I usually hear, but he's got that weird slight effect to it.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed, the first 4 notes, you hear him, it's like, is that Sweet Child of Mine? But then after that, it's like, no, it's definitely not. But
No.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one. So what do
I
you
actually
think?
have to say, this one of the three, this one is my favorite.
I'm actually going to agree with you.
And it just grabbed me. I don't know what it was. Yeah, the weird, you hear, it's clearly a guitar, but it sounds very not electric, electronic.
Yeah.
So that kind of grabs you because, again, it is a rare thing. And I just liked it. It was like the right length, the right, I don't know, just kind of, it just was really nice to listen to. And it's just, you don't hear electronic and rock kind of mixed together too often. I guess it's just kind of those two kind of genres that kind of are naturally kind of don't quite mesh.
Yeah, I've been listening to a few of this guy's songs, and they've all been really good, but they've all been slightly not quite up to par to feature them, and I've been waiting to find one, and I believe this is definitely one he got it.
Yeah.
He got it good. So my last one is Your Life. And it's by Archie. Yes, Archie is back. He is after his surgery, and he's back. He's making pony songs. Sort of. It's an instrumental, so yeah, it goes along with that whole...
Pony song?
Is it? Isn't it? It's an instrumental, can't really tell. But I'm going to say it is because he said it was, and he put Applejack on the front. So, but yes, if you know Archie, you know what you're going to get. It's prog house. Yeah. It's his standard style. It's great. I don't think it's my favorite of his, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. I think I've said this before, but Archie's very hit and miss with me. And this one is, this one's odd. I think this also suffers from the problem a lot of Archie songs, which is it's too long for its own good.
I will actually agree with you. It's almost 8 minutes long. That could be shortened.
There's one spot, it's like around the 4-minute mark. That's like almost sounds perfect for it to end there. But then it just keeps going.
Is that I think that's around the breakdown part. I'm
not sure. I can't remember. Yeah. No, but somewhere around 3.5, 4 minutes right there, it kind of feels like this is a good spot to kind of end it and possibly make the second part a whole nother song. But yeah, it just kind of overstays its welcome, and that kind of wears on you. It's like, is this over yet? Because I mean,
Yeah, it suffers definitely from being too long.
yeah, several Archie songs actually kind of suffer from the same problem.
It's I think something I hear a lot in a lot of progressive house in general tends to do that, just because the progressive thing they kind of stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah,
It's why this one isn't my favorite Archie song.
Yeah,
but
it's fine. It's still nice to listen to. It's just after a while you're kind of like, is it over yet? No. Oh my God, there's still 2 minutes left. How?
yeah.
So yeah, it's just. I think this is a typical Archie problem. Archie in particular has that problem. It's just he can't seem to stop the song before you start losing interest.
I'll give you that one. So that's the songs I have. But I want to give one little quick shout out. Tarby, or Tarby Rocks, if you see his handle online. His new album Everfree is out. So if you like harder rock style music, go check it out on Bandcamp. The link is in the show notes. It's also available in some other places, but go ahead and check that out. So, and that's the music I have. So back to you.
Yeah, I have a fanfic this week. Yes, I actually have a new fanfic. I was actually intended to do this last week, but I forgot to read it fully. I only read 2 chapters or something, and then forgot to read the rest by the time we recorded. And he didn't have time to read it because it's a almost 60,000 word one. But it's a sequel to a story I've talked about in the past. It's The Irony of Applejack Aftermath: A Warm Hearth by Mr. Friendly. If you remember Irony of Applejack from our big
fanfiction Unleashed episode. Yes.
Yeah. So it's a sequel, but it's not the sequel. There's an actual full-length, longer sequel. This is kind of a mid-quill.
It's it's a prequel to the sequel.
The pre-sequel.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of takes place in between. Well, as you can probably figure out from the title, it's a Hearthwarming Eve type thing, and it's basically it's after Irony of Applejack. So Applejack, everyone knows Applejack's a changeling, and so on and so forth. And the changelings are kind of starting to try to integrate into equestrian society as sorts, because, well, this is still kind of pretty close after the whole Camelot wedding thing, so that whole thing's kind of fresh in a lot of Ponies' memories.
Yeah.
Anyway, once again, the main 6 have been invited to do the Camelot Hearthwarming Eve pageant.
They're calling it. Not quite sure why you called it a pageant. That doesn't really look like a pageant.
But anyway, so they've been invited to that, and they find out it's got a new director, and this one has apparently known for being a bit anti-changeling. Mm-hmm. And also Twilight's having a problem in just
adjusting to Applejack.
Yeah, adjusting to Applejack, and then they do their whole thing. They're going through setting up for the play, and everyone's having their little problems all resolved and stuff. And it's a fun little read. It's almost 60,000 words, so it's actually kind of a surprisingly long little short story, if that makes sense. For a short story, it feels like a short story, but it also kind of feels long at times.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I got a couple little problems with it. I did find a couple typos here and there, and some odd phrasing, but for the most part, it's enjoyable. I think it holds up pretty well compared to the first one. Even the first one I think is overall better. This one still is a pretty fun read, and I want to look at the next sequel too when it eventually in the future, because I want to kind of wait for that one to actually finish. So, yeah.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it. It read well start to finish. I didn't see there wasn't any major issues that I could really pick out with it. But yeah.
There was that the weird thing about the quotes.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
That one it was in
the
text.
Quote unquote, and then he actually used quote, and it's like
he used in text the phrase quote unquote.
And it wasn't dialogue.
A word, but it wasn't in dialogue. It's like,
it was a little
you
weird.
do realize that phrase is meant...
I think one time he used the wrong word. He used the verb instead of the noun at one point for a word. And I was like, oops, it was just a little mistake.
But it's just minor little things.
What was I thinking of? Oh, it does have hints of Appledash. Because if you look at the sequel to this, there's a reason for that. I mean, it's basically just building up on the very basic foundation laid out in the first one.
Yeah.
I think one problem I have is they brought up why Twilight's having a hard time with Applejack being a changeling, and then they kind of drop it for a while, and they kind of bring it back again. It's basically it reminds her of Chrysalis, who well personally affected her pretty hard, and so that's the problem. Is seeing Applejack as a changeling reminds her of that, and it freaks her out. It's one of those weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was it was brought up, and then it was just kind of was swept under the rug for a bit, and then it kind of sort of came back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you had a pretty good thing to explore, and you didn't really explore it that well. I think that's one problem. Although I did have, this is obviously before season 3 or something, because it made little allusions to Twilight becoming an alicorn and the Crystal Empire returning and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it's still pretty neat. It's a holiday fic, but you don't really need it to be in holiday spirit to read. It's really good, and I'm looking forward to actually looking at the sequel to this as well. But again, I don't want to get involved until it's all done.
I'm thinking about actually just starting reading it now.
Yeah, because then when it's done, I might actually feature that too.
Yay, and I'll actually not have to... Oh, crap, I have to read...
Unless the sequel kind of...
It's over 150 words, isn't it? 5,000 words?
What is?
The actual sequel?
This, as of right now, it is 120,000 words. It's still not finished.
120,000.
But yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm up to date on that.
Yeah, before. Cause, yeah, so
Before you decide, hey, we're going to feature this.
I would warn you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I was going to feature this last week, but just, oops, forgot.
Oops.
I just forgot to finish reading it, and I ran out of time, and oops, we're recording. I don't have time to sit here and read, and you don't have time to sit there and read.
Yeah.
So, it happened, but it's still worth looking at.
Yep.
I do have a couple updates. One, Withdrawal updated again with another chapter, and this one is, well, Twilight's in a relapse, but there's a little more to it than that.
A little more. Can't
In
really
that
give it
you
away,
find out there's,
but-
oh man, Twilight's basically self-sabotaging, and she didn't even realize it.
Yeah, it's dark.
Yeah, this is where the
Wow.
fic finally earns its dark tag.
Yeah, even Discord, I think, made a mention that, wow, that's like...
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
messed up, yo. But yeah. So this is where things get really dark, and I'm really want to see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
And Twilight Falls, Sunset Dawns also got another chapter, and this one, Twilight in Sunset's body finally escapes more or less from Rosencross, and Sunset in Twilight's body, it seems like she is starting to realize things, I guess, even though she hasn't quite consciously realized them. She knows something is, I guess, off. In a sense, she's now starting to have self-doubts and whatnot. That's what you can see it.
Haven't read it yet.
But yeah, it's pretty obvious she's having self-doubts and whatnot about what she's doing. So, yeah, I checked those out too. And that's it for this episode.
Good night. Oh, wait.
No, wait, we still have more
We
to
still
talk
have to do
about.
our
Just a little
outro.
bit. If you like this episode, you want to see past and future ones, you can go to pony411.libsyn.com. All the episodes are there. You can also go to iTunes, subscribe there. Nice and easy. And if you use an iDevice or just use iTunes in general, because it's cool. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/pony411. If you don't want to download anything, that's one way to do it. Although you have to, again, tab open, but that's cool too. You can listen to us on Stitcher. Search for us, Pony411 there. You can subscribe there, I believe, is through their app and whatnot. You can also listen to us on Ponyville FM every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, every week. Unless we didn't record,
Yeah, unless we skipped an episode.
which happens.
Yeah, sometimes we need breaks.
Yeah. You can also contact us if you want to email us and give us feedback about our crap we talked about. You can go to pony411podcast@gmail.com. Yell at me if you want. I don't care.
Tell us our opinions are wrong about Gameloft.
Yeah, tell us why we're terrible people or something. I don't know. Or tell us why it's actually easier. You're doing it wrong. You can also contact us on Facebook /Pony411. So, there it is. Update every week with the new episodes. You can go to Twitter. We're at Pony411. We use that more frequently, as you probably have noticed if you follow us already. You can follow us on our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. He's at Alca7raz with a 7 and 17. It's underscore at the end.
Yep.
And if you're interested in other things, like perhaps another podcast, you can go to Bronyville. I recently appeared on episode 157 of their show to just talk about nonsense and New Year's resolutions. You should go definitely check that out and check them out in general. So, I hope we can do that again in the future. Maybe this time with Alcatraz. Things just conspired against him, shall we say.
Yes.
So, that's it for this episode. Tune in next week. I have a somewhat of an idea of what we're going to do. I hope it goes through well. Till then, though, please pony responsibly, guys. Bye.